As a chance now to take a look at three stock picks worth looking at, something that might have yet to come across in your radar. We're talking now with Alan Green from PIR Multichannel. Alan, welcome.
Hello, Jeremy.
Just quickly, what three stocks have you brought along?
Okay, today we're looking at smart metering systems, epic code SMS. We're looking at advanced oncotherapy, epic code AVO, and we're looking at Midwich Group, epic code MIDW.
Okay, let's take a look first of all at SMS, the smart metering systems. Now, this is a company, I know there's a buzzword going on here about smart metering because a lot of people are thinking about installing these in their homes for a number of different reasons. So what is it that draws you to this stock?
Well, 2 weeks' time, I'm actually having smart meters put into my own house in Seaford, so it's a very current thing for me. What drew my attention to it? The performance over the past few years has been fantastic. I mean, this stock is up 134% over the past 2 years. But also, looking at the fundamentals, every single time this company has announced results, it's grown earnings, it's grown revenues, it's grown EBITDA, and also it's grown the dividend too. At the recent results announcement, dividend was increased by 27%. So if you're a shareholder, I started talking about the stock on various channels about 2 years ago when the shares were under half of where they are now. So it's delivered a fantastic performance. It's delivered dividend payments for investors, and it's a great performer. And really, where it's at, and the clients it has, there's little sign of it slowing down.
Now, my understanding is you were a shareholder in this. You had been buying the stock, but you are no longer?
I am no longer, that's right, yes.
So where do you stand now on that? Because given the point that you're now saying this is a stock to watch.
Yes, well, it's a stock to watch simply because it's grown earnings. It hit my criteria at the time. I think my fundamentals are very much based on I look to get a certain return from a stock. When it delivers, I'll get out. And the underlying fundamental story might be good. A lot of people say let your profits run. I don't always do that. So I will get out and I'll look for an opportunity to go back in. And clearly, with the run the stock's had since July, it's had a terrific run. But I would be looking probably for it to come back to resistance on the 200-day moving average before I look at it again.
Which is at what point?
Well, the 200 at the moment is trading at 694. Stock today is trading at sort of at just
about 750, I think it is. Yeah.
750.
Very quickly. You also have a client base as well. It's not a client, is it? SMS.
SMS are not a client. No. The next one, however, is.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get into the next very briefly in just a moment. But my last question on smart metering is, what's your target here? You're looking to get a clawback down to around about the 200-period moving average, and then what's the sort of upside you're looking at?
Well, I think given the fact the stock has risen by 36% over the past year, I'd be looking to add another 10 or 15%. So if the stock at another 15%, and I can get out before the ex-dividend date, then terrific.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Stock number 2. You've already told us about this very briefly. It's advanced oncotherapy. Just briefly tell us what the stock is. I know this is actually a stock I think you are in, isn't it, right?
It is, yeah. I've held this stock. I've been advanced oncotherapy have been a client of PIR Multichannel, which is a channel of brand communication, since 2013. So I declare an interest here. But they're developing a revolutionary proton beam therapy machine to treat tumours and cancer. The machine has been in development for some time. The company owns a subsidiary of the CERN Hadron Collider people in Switzerland. It's called ADAM, and that technology, the God particle technology, is being used to develop the proton therapy machine. So the machine is in development. It's hitting all its technical milestones now. The company expects to treat superficial tumours by autumn of next year. And it's developing a treatment centre at Harley Street in London, which investors can drive past or walk past and have a look. And that will be open in March 2019. So it's revolutionary compared to existing technology in this field, which are huge cyclotron machines, which are housed in concrete bunkers. This is a small, portable piece of technology.
Yeah, okay. Going back to the chart, and the chart that you've got here, it was £1.10. It's now 40 pence. You are in this stock. Have you been one of those that suffered on the downside?
Yes, indeed. And the reason for that is quite well talked about and discussed. There were some funding issues at the start of the year. The company are very well backed. They've got an investor called AB Segula, which includes Peter Gillenhammer, the Swedish investor, and a group of investors that are taking a very pragmatic long-term view of AVO. But at the start of the year, they had I guess it's termed as a death spiral arrangement, which was basically put to bed and at the time attracted a lot of adverse publicity. But the sharp recovery in the stock since then it shows how well the company is backed and viewed. The investor Segula put out a very strong video about the company, and it's all on the AVO website.
Yeah, unlike the other two stocks we're talking about, this is a fully London-listed stock. It's not AIM, is it?
It's not AIM, no, that's right. That's
we're currently trading around about, 31 pence, I think it is, whatever.
31 pence, which from a technical standpoint is interesting because the support level for the stock is at around this level too. Mm-hmm. And I discussed the stock with someone else a few weeks ago, and we were looking at the technicals of where the support level was. And this particular investor believed the stock would come back to this level and it would form a floor. So that's clearly what.
So your target on this would be?
Well, if you consider each machine will sell for about $50 million, the company's currently got a market cap of about 25 million sterling. Now, obviously, we've got running costs and everything else to take into account of that. But just using that as a rough guide, I think we could expect to see the stock, as we get nearer to treating tumours next year, I think we could expect to see the stock get back towards the £1 level.
Yeah, okay, all right. That's advanced oncotherapy. Let's go for your third stock, which you've pulled out. This, for me, was off my radar, Midwich.
Yes.
I knew nothing about this stock until you brought it along. It's actually got a market cap of about 370 million. And as I said, it's AIM listed.
It has, yeah.
Are you in it?
I'm not in Midwich Group. I've been watching the stock, but it's again, it's had such a stellar year. Sometimes you look for a pullback to get in and take that opportunity to get in. That simply hasn't happened with Midwich. It's just had a stellar year so far. They are in what I call a fairly mundane sector. They supply audio-visual equipment to projectors, signage to 10,000 customers worldwide. But again, this company has grown revenues. Shares are up nearly 115% over the past year. Interims showed a 33% rise in revenue, pre-tax up 35%. The dividend was put up by 36%. So, again, this is a small company or small mid-sized company that's going places. But this was actually identified through my colleague, Dr. David Paul at VectorVest, who I know you've had on the show beforehand. Mm-hmm. And the VectorVest stock analysis and portfolio management system identifies opportunities like this, and it pulled Midwich up on account of its earnings growth, which took place earlier in the year. So we had a look at this, and indeed since that time the shares have just continued to rise. And I mean, frankly, it looks as though it could be well over £6 by the end of the year.
But you're not in the stock at the moment. But you're looking for opportunities to buy at a lower level.
I'm hoping it's going to pull back to resistance, so I can jump in. But it's on my watch list, and I've got a buy order ready to go. But
currently trading about £4.60. What is the level you should be watching out for?
Well, I think around £4. I mean, the 200 days is just over £4. So if it comes back to there, or if it comes close to there, I'm jumping straight in.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks so much indeed. Smart Metering Systems, Advanced Oncotherapy and Midwich Group. Alan, thanks for joining us. Alan Green is there from PIR Multichannel with his stock picks that we're looking at the moment here at IG.